What's up, Trash Talkers, Gruntworks Nation? We are here on your first Wednesday of the month. Happy December. Everybody loves the holidays, and seeing as it is the holiday season, people run out of money, okay, because they spend, and that's what the stores want you to do. So we are here with Veteran Trash Talk, teamed up with Zach Farkas from the Veterans Mortgage Source. We are here to make your holidays a little better next year. All right. And then the year after that, with maybe a little bit of supplemental income because you've used your VA loan benefit, right? It's not an entitlement, it's a benefit. You earned it, right? Using your VA benefit to actually make money. And it is possible. I've been paying attention to everything Zach's been saying. In fact, I am maybe a week away from closing on my with you guys to refinance my house here in Texas. So I am a customer. I am, they've been phenomenal with me. Super easy process. So go to Veterans Zach Farkas. I'm sure Chris will put the link in there for his website. But anytime you have any questions or anything like that, just either put it in the chat thread or just email Zach. Zach's on our website, veterantrashtalk.com. And like I said, Chris will put it into the chat. But no, it's a phenomenal thing here. We're going to talk about buying multiple family unit properties, i.e. like a townhome, right?
Yep.
And then using your rental income to supplement for your mortgage payments while using your VA benefits. So again, Zach, it's a pleasure having you. We're doing great things for veterans here. And again, anytime we can help somebody out, whether it's one person tonight or 30 tomorrow, that's what we're all about. So, Zach, the floor is yours. What are we going to talk about tonight?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Nick. I really appreciate it. And then if you're watching and you've missed some of the past episodes, we actually have an online VA webinar. So that's going to go over everything that you need to know about the VA loan and a lot of topics that I've previously covered. But today, what we're going to focus on is two things, and that's going to focus around rental income to help you qualify for a purchase. I've had a couple people, and we've already established, we've talked about it. You can have two open VA loans. So I'll kind of use the first example, and this is called vacating rental income. So you PCS to Texas, you buy a $200,000 condo, and you live in it for a year, and you're like, wow, this was a great experience, and I want to do this again. I want another property here. But we've established the amount of debt you hold affects your qualification and your debt to income ratio. One great thing about the VA loan is you can use what's called vacating rental income. So let's say your mortgage payment is about $1,000. I mean, that doesn't quite add up to the $200,000 purchase, but for easy math, you're making $1,000 in your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, and you have an HOA, and that's $1,000. Well, in order to preclude that debt from your qualification or discount that, all you need to do is get a lease agreement and receive 2 months rent into your bank account. Okay. So once that happens, then we can preclude that debt. So it is going to be 75%. So say you want to say the lease agreement would be $1,250 and your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and HOA are $1,000. It's not perfect math there, but 75% of that $1,250 should right around cover that up. Then you have the same qualification you had a year ago, and you still own a home. So that's a really great tool that some people are like, well, I don't want to buy now because that's going to hurt me later. It's not necessarily going to hurt you later, because if you're leaving that property, you can go on, get a lease agreement, and then you're kind of good to go.
Hey, let's cover that there for a second, Zach, because I know for a fact there's people watching that might not want to put the question in or that, but what rumors or, the old Sergeant Major tale of this is how things are done around here. What's the fear of, like you said, of using more on your VA loan? What's the typical thing you hear? Like, that's just wrong.
Yeah, so I that's one of the fears and especially because I'm out in Hawaii, so people know they're only going to be here for 3 years. Like, well, I don't want to mess up my purchase in Texas, because when I this is my last duty station, then this is my second last duty station. I'm going to move to Texas, and that's where I want to buy my home, where I'm going to retire, right? So I usually tell them, like, hey, as long as you have that vacating rental lease agreement, when you go to Texas, we can preclude that debt. Now, there might be entitlement implications, or like, how much left you have on your VA loan. But as far as just getting the debt off of your credit report to help you qualify, that's how you do it. You just get somebody on a lease, and then it has to have been your primary residence switching over to investment. And the VA is going to say, hey, 75% of that lease, we're going to count that as income to counter your mortgage payment.
Oh, very nice. So can you maybe put that in more layman's terms? We got a comment here from Steven Johnson, says, have you all mentioned the 144,000 lower limit on bonus entitlements? ?
I don't really understand the question. Is he talking about when you like the 144,000? Like, does he mean when you have full entitlement and when you buy a home, Steven? Like, then it counts against your entitlement?
Yeah, Steven, I think your number might be based on you personally. So again, if we are on a little bit of a delay, maybe about 5 or 6 seconds, but if you can, clarify more, then that'll help Zach, or go scroll up in the comments a little bit and email him your question, and that'll help. But if you can elaborate on that, Steven, that'd be awesome. And then the Stone Vet, the #1 Marine Corps podcast through the Veteran Podcast Awards, says, I'm about to max out my VA loan for this house I'm building. Well, that's good, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then what's the rule of thumb there? Wait till you're 30% equity and get out of it, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to be at the 20% equity. Like, I'm sure you don't mind me sharing, but as long as you have get to 10% equity, then we can do a conventional refinance. Then you'll just have mortgage insurance. So that's
what I'm doing right now, right? So
right.
I'm doing, it's like $40 a month mortgage insurance, which you don't have to pay in the VA. However, my entire benefit will be available. So Steve says they wouldn't allow me to buy a house that costs less than 144 according to VA requirements. So does the house less than 144?
I'm going to be honest, Steven. I'm in Hawaii. So the amount of times that all our median sales price is $1,050,000. So I have never done a loan less than 150,000. So that, based off my experience, I'm not sure, but definitely, like Nick said, maybe shoot me an email and I can look into it and clarify. Cause a lot of what I talk about is just based off my actual originating experience. And that's all been in Hawaii where the loan amounts are, super high.
Hey, here's a good one. So Steve, if you didn't catch that, again, email him specifically and he'll get you the details, whether he makes a dime off you or not. That's the beauty of it. So he's going to give you what's up, because we're here to help ourselves. All right, we're all veterans. Zach, like I've said before in other shows, go on YouTube and watch our shows, because we've covered a lot of stuff before. So you go on there and just check out we talk money stuff. I don't know how I titled it on there. It doesn't really matter, but you'll figure it out. Yeah. So then you got Kevin saying, what about a second home that is not an income property? I owe $22,000 on a $275,000 loan. That's pretty sweet. I'm looking to get a vacation property before it's paid off. I might Airbnb or something, but not very often. Is there something I can do with the VA benefit in that regard? Kevin, let me tell you who you're talking to right now. Okay. You got Zach Farkas on here, who got out of the Army as a captain, right? Because he realized how much money he can make doing exactly what you're asking. So Zach, that's a home run right there. Help Kevin out.
Yeah. So Kevin, for the VA loan, you can, if you own it and you've lived in it or intended to live in it for a year, you can convert that property into a second home, investment, whatever you want to do. So the property that you're in, you can Airbnb, do whatever you want to do. If you're going to buy another property and you intend on using the VA loan, you have to intend to occupy it for a year. Okay. So you can't use it. You can refinance it, do a VA IRRRL as an investor second home, but the actual VA purchase has to be intend to be your primary residence. So what I did is I bought a condo in Waikiki with my VA loan. I lived in it for a year. Then I moved out and then I converted it to an Airbnb, but they're going to tie your occupancy to where you work and where you live. So if you're if you're working in Texas and you live in Texas and your income's tied to Texas and you're like, I'm going to use the VA loan to buy an Airbnb in Honolulu, the lender is going to go, hey, how are you going to make money in Honolulu? So the VA loan is used to purchase your primary residence. But after you intended to live in it for a year, keyword is there is intend, then you can do whatever you want with it.
Right. So Stephen came back and says, yeah, it was 123,000, the original purchase agreement. The VA has a rule that you cannot use your bonus entitlement for any property less than 144. I had to redo the contract for 145 and we're scheduled to close tomorrow. I think it's something that others should look into.
Yeah, and I can definitely look into that, and maybe we'll talk about that next episode too. Because like I said, I'm not super familiar. I don't think I've ever done a loan here less than like 250. So that's not something I usually look into, but I can definitely check it out.
Yeah, and it's it's one of those things that in Hawaii, where I lived in Manoa by the college, if it had a toilet on the ground, it was worth $800,000.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
But good luck.
Yes, and that's going to depend on your remaining entitlement. So you can rent that out. Once you rent that out, right? We already talked about, you can use a lease agreement to offset that payment, and then you can go out and buy again. You just have to, and I can do this for you. I think you said John Paul. I can, if you email me, Zach.Farkas@VMS Loans, V as in Victor, M as in Mike, S as in Samantha, loans.com. And then I can check your remaining entitlement. It takes me like 2 minutes. And I'll just run that for you for free and let you know what county you're trying to buy in and then what your remaining entitlement is. But yeah, you can have 2 loans on the same entitlement.
Yeah. Speaking of the word entitlement and then free, that's something that, when you're dealing with the masses, just so everybody watching understands, right? Zach does very well. He's very good at this job. And he is doing this. He's not some kind of martyr or saint, just like we're not, but he has bought into the mission that is Veteran Trash Talk, that is helping veteran community by veterans alone. All right. And then also we invite civilians because we want civilians to also be a part of our community to help. So he if you just email him, he literally will help you, or he'll pass you to another veteran because all cacti, you can't see it in the glass. Maybe you can. All of Cacti is working there right now. He's recruited all of the officers, and they're all there now. Probably some colonels there too. But no, they will 100% help you and take care of you with that. Now, when you say, go ahead.
Yeah.
Both.
So yeah, exactly. So this was actually kind of the second part of what we're going to talk about is rental income. So this was a change that came out. Can you guys hear me?
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You didn't turn your notifications off, and now after the show, Chris is going to whine because you interrupted it, and now we got to whatever. But it's okay.
Yeah. So this is what I did. So another form of rental income you can use is gaining rental income. So we said vacating, that means you're leaving the property. Well, the property you're purchasing, if that is a legal multifamily, you can use gaining rental income, right? So I'll use myself as an example. I bought a triplex in Honolulu for $2.2 million, right? Can I afford a $2.2 million mortgage? No, right? But what I did, it's a pretty cool place. So what I did is the appraiser goes out and they appraise the value of the home. Then they appraise each unit, how much it would rent for. So I was able to use 2 rental unit gaining rental income to offset that mortgage payment. So that's another great way you can use rental income to help you qualify. So if you're going to buy that duplex, you can absolutely use the second unit's rental income to help you qualify as long as you intend to occupy the duplex. Then to answer your question, do I buy my dream home or do I buy a duplex? I'm always thinking about the next move. So I'd say buy the duplex, get that rental income, get that settled, live in it for a year. That way, you know, the details of the property, you can be a better landlord, and then, yeah, rent both the properties out, both the units out, refinance it conventional, and then go ahead and go up and get your dream home, or keep doing that.
Yeah, and again, so I just go ahead. No, nice. Wrong. No, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, the minimum service requirement for active duty is 90 days of continuous service. That does not count your basic training. So as long as you're 90 days at your first unit, you qualify. And then, yeah, once again, I can help generate that certificate of eligibility to show qualification. It's super easy. But yep, as long as if you're active duty, it's 90 days of continuous service. If you're in the National Guard or Reserves, it's 6 years of your weekend drill, and then the two weeks in the summer, or you know, any amount of time in the National Guard or Reserves with 181 days on Title 10 orders.
Yeah, I'm fixing the muffin fingers. You screwed up the email in the chat. Now these guys are all emailing the wrong person. Zach Farkas at VMSloans.com.
At V as in Victor, M as in Mike, S as in Sierra, loans.com.
He's like, at VMSloans.com. Got it. So, boom. Nailed it. But wait, Dave, also you can find all his info on our homepage, veterantrashtalk.com. That's right. Dave's on the chat here. That it is correct. So that's not how you spell Farkas's name, but it's okay. Either way, let's talk about what my next step is, and so that way people can understand what I'm trying to do here. I used my VA loan twice. I had a house in North Carolina, bought a house in Texas, and I sold my property in North Carolina because somebody offered way more than that thing was worth. But that's okay. And then now I'm getting out of the VA loan, giving me a full VA benefit.
Right.
What do I do with that VA benefit? A, if I'm still active. B, if I'm out. What do I do with it?
Right.
In your opinion.
Yeah, so I mean, in my opinion, the answer would be the same for both, with kind of different different caveats there. But definitely, now that we're freeing up your VA entitlement, like you'll have free and clear entitlement, so you go up and get whatever your income and credit qualify for when on free and clear entitlement, right? Meaning you don't have another VA loan. So that's how I was able to do the 2.2 million money down, no money down. So if you were to find a 1 million duplex, you can go ahead and buy it, or your dream home, like the person was talking about. The cool thing is, if you're active duty with a Purple Heart, or if you get out, and even if you have yeah, and you don't have a funding fee, or when you get out, if you get a disability rating, you can be rated like they rate your knee at 0%. That's still a rating. Then you will not have to pay the VA funding fee for the rest of your life. So the VA funding fee is just a one-time upfront fee that the VA collects to help out those of us that aren't as fortunate, that maybe get into some bad mortgages or something like that when they need some help.
All right, Steven's back on the line. Steven says, next dumb question. Steven, not dumb. My new home is in New Mexico and is 6+ acres where weed is legal. Does the VA care what we do with the property, like growing cannabis? Can that cause me any problems? Hey, send me that address, homie. I'm coming. I'm helping. So
yeah. Let me know if you need some helping hands. No, I mean, if you're not, you can do, number one, we're really kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but I'm assuming that you need some sort of permit or agriculture, something like that. If you're active duty, Steve, I definitely would advise against it. But as long as what you're doing on the property is legal where you're at, then you can do whatever you want. If you're doing something illegal on your property, so even if you're farming hay and you don't have the permit to do it, and the hay catches on fire and catches the house on fire, and the insurance finds out that you're illegally growing hay, your insurance is not going to cover it. So definitely you want to make sure whatever you use the VA loan for, you want to do it, whatever you're doing on the land, you want to do legal stuff. Because if something happens bad because you're doing something illegal, then, your insurance is not going to cover it. That being said, if it's part of its ag land, or New Mexico has a law where you're allowed to grow weed and you're not in the service, then, do whatever you want, but I'm also not an attorney or from New Mexico.
No, you're not getting any legal advice at this point. Maybe that's the next thing. Hey, any law firms out there that want to do a segment on legal stuff, let me know. And it's going to cost you, because the big girl's time is money. So New Mexico is a great place. I'm right on the border with it. You got, awesome wineries there. Santa Fe, Albuquerque's a shithole, but they have some crazy laws and rules there. So don't take any legal advice from us. Right? Yeah. That's not what we're talking about. But when it comes to VA loans and it comes to the benefit and how to make money off of it, because I was watching, we'll give Veteran Radio Syndicate a plug here. I was watching a very similar thing they were doing earlier today, when everybody who could buy a home was probably at work and not watching. But they'll figure that out, the timing of when to actually put people on TV. But they were covering it. And again, you really don't need to know what you're doing to use the VA loan. All right. Somebody's going to do it for you. However, what we're trying to give you, and what I'm learning through all of this, is ways to position yourself 2 or 3 years later, right? To where now, okay, I can free this up, or I have to hold on to it for another year, maybe because of your debt, something, it's like these are the things that if you email Zach, he's going to answer for you. And it's just going to be, I'm telling you right now, I'm setting myself up to follow the Zach plan. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. If I fail, it ain't really going to hurt me. Right. Cause I'm already free and clear and, with the properties. So what do you got to say on that, Zach? Anything else? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go. So,
good question.
That is a good question. That's a complicated question. So it really depends on how much equity you have in the property. So there are VA construction loans, depending on the state that you're in. Like Hawaii, it's like next to near impossible to do, because I'll give, I just got permits that I've been waiting on for 2.5 years, but provided you're in a state whose DPP isn't under federal investigation, and you get permits pretty quickly. So what you can actually do is you can do like a construction loan, and then you just got to get all the plans and stuff together, and then you submit it to the VA, and you submit it, you kind of start the process pretty early, and then you kind of have an appraiser that says, yep, if you do this, it's going to be this value. You get all the quotes from the contractors, you submit that as a packet to the VA. Then once it's built, the appraiser kind of goes back out and it's like, yep, this is good. That process is pretty difficult. What I would actually recommend doing, it depends on obviously the scenario is going to depend, but you can do like a home equity line of credit. You could do a cash out refinance and then rebuild it. Or, there are like specific construction loans that you can get to rebuild it, and you can use the equity in your property. This is the easiest route because the VA, there's a lot of red tape with it. Go to like a local bank, you do like basically a construction loan or refinance. And then after the property is built, then you refinance at VA. So that'd be what I'd recommend is, go to a local bank in Texas that does construction loans, lay out your scenario, get your loan, do it as soon as it's built. Then, because the rate's not going to be super awesome on that. Then once it's built, then you refinance it into VA. That's kind of the route. That's what one of my friends did here in Hawaii. So,
hey, Steve's asking. We'll close it. We'll wrap it up here. As soon as we it's a short show, guys, and it's fine because, again, look at the chat thread and just email Zach. It's all over our website at veterantrashtalk.com. So if you go there and email him and ask him questions, again, free advice, right? And if you choose to go with him, whatever, it's not going to hurt my feelings. It might hurt Zach's, but not mine. But that being said, I vouch for Zach. Veteran Trash Talk vouchers for Zach and the Veterans Mortgage Source. So in the event that he does not treat you the right way, tell me. I'll go fly out to Hawaii and punch him in the nose. But that's probably not going to happen. I'd be willing to bet that it's not. And I'd be willing to bet that you'd be extremely happy you made that email before you made a financial decision, and just ask the question. A lot of people, I'll close it out kind of with it. What was the question, Chris? Because it didn't come off on Veteran Trash Talk when you were talking. What was the question from Gruntworks? That should I use my VA loan to refi, to rebuild something, to cash out refi, or to? Can you did your voice just come across on both platforms, Chris? Okay, I think that might have been the problem the first time. It must not have. But there, Steve, that was the question. And again, but let me close it out with this, right? And I don't want to lose my train of thought, but there's a lot of people. You remember the 1% protests where everybody got pissed off at Wall Street, right? And we are the 99%. And then there was that one guy with a sign that said, "Why don't you learn what that 1% did?" Right? Like, instead of whining about it, right? And yes, Veteran Trash Talk and Gruntworks, there's a lot of whiners. Okay? Surround yourself with the right people. This community has been built by our entire team to make sure that we can support each other. So we brought Zach onto the team, and he is here to help you. So ask him the question. Just do yourself that favor. Email him, ask him. He might tell you, "I can't help you. Good luck." All right. Or he probably is going to have the answer for you. So email Zach. It's going to be one of the best moves you ever made. I know he's helping me right now through it. And I don't know what I can disclose after closing, but I'll do it. I'll show you my whole process. I got no problem doing that to help out all my brothers and sisters out there watching. But again, remember, Saturday. All right. Well, first of all, go on YouTube and check out the Stone Vets Hump Day. It was a pretty good episode. Not a lot of guys clicked on it today because Facebook sometimes doesn't release it on the algorithm. And then you have the Ring Knocker Radio. You got these West Point guys that talk football. It's a funny show, but they do a good job. And then Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, right, bright and early. All right, we're doing our UFC and our NFL picks. The bigger old locks have not been doing very well, although I hit college last weekend, so that kind of saved me. And we'll talk some of the title games. And then our guests, they have a really cool thing going on. They started a website that allows you to promote veteran-owned gear and stuff like that on their page, kind of like what we're doing, except that they have like just a little bit different. Again, we don't care who we promote. We promote people who are our direct competitors. We don't care. Like, we want everybody to be as strong and as healthy as possible. So thanks for tuning in tonight. It was an absolute pleasure. We'll see you guys on Saturday. And Zach, last word. Always a pleasure.
No, yeah. Thanks so much for having me on. And then, like Nick said, I mean, I talk to 20 people a day. So definitely do not hesitate to shoot me an email. If you have an hour's worth of questions, I'll be on the phone with you for an hour. If you have 2 hours or you just have one, it's not a waste of time. And then it's not like you're going to turn around. I'm going to have you an escrow on a home or anything like that. Like I'm just, like Nick said, I'm here to help out, answer questions, and, try and help people to build wealth through real estate. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and thanks so much.
All right, guys, we'll see you on Saturday. You better be watching.